A member of Black Lives Matter, an activist, Pamela Moses, who is also a black woman, was sentenced last week to 6 years and 1 day in prison for trying to register to vote in 2019. Despite having a felony conviction, she says that she was the victim of a complicated voting laws in Tennessee that appeared to confuse even election officials. Prosecutors in Tennessee said that accidentally or not, the woman, Pamela Moses, a 44-year-old, broke the law. But Moses, a Black Lives Matter activist, and her lawyers say election officials gave her advice that they later corrected while she was seeking to have her voting rights restored. Voting rights activists say that Pamela Moses has this lengthy sentence, and it's a part of racial disparities in the criminal justice system when it comes to voting fraud cases, especially since white men who have been charged in more straightforward instances of voting fraud have received probation or just days of imprisonment. And when they speak about these particular white people, white men, one of them got probation. One of them did like 3 days in jail for violating the voters' situation. And they're saying, well, why did she get so much time when these guys actually got little to no time at all? One, I say this, she was in a different state than they were. That could be the reason. But still at the same time, it's pretty damn terrible. In October, Donald Kirk Hartle, a white Republican voter, was charged with 2 counts of voter fraud in Las Vegas after he forced his dead wife's signature to vote with her ballot. He was sentenced in November to 1 year of probation. Wow. And then you have Edward Snodgrass, a white Republican official in Ohio, who forged his dead father's signature on an absentee ballot in 2020, and he was charged with illegal voting. And a part of his plea agreement, he was to serve 3 days in jail, and that's all that he received. So they would be upset. Her lawyers and her should be upset because voting is all across the country. To me, the penalty should be the same for anybody that violated. And it's pretty bad the way the whole thing went. It says local election officials told Moses that she could not be on the ballot because of prior felony convictions, including a 2015 conviction of tampering with evidence. The felony conviction meant Moses would never be allowed to vote again, but officials did not tell her that at the time and advised her only to check her probation status. Moses was confused because she thought her probation was over. In September of 2019, a judge told Moses that she was indeed still on probation. She remained skeptical and went to the probation office, where a probation officer told her she was actually done with her felony probation. And they have records to show this. The probation officer signed off on her voting rights registration form, and Moses submitted the form to the election officials. But the problem came in about a day later, when the probation officer had made a mistake, and the Department of Corrections sent a letter to the Shelby County Election Commission informing it that Moses was still under an active felony sentence and could not vote. Moses was then charged with perjury on a registration form and consenting to a false entry on official election documents. The former charge was dropped. There was no false statement from Moses on the voting form, but she was convicted of the second charge in November and sentenced January the 31st, a day before Black History Month, to 6 years and 1 day in prison. Her lawyer says this is a vendetta-type persecution. Monday, he added, W. Mark Ward, a criminal court judge, had acted like a bully and slammed her with a lengthy sentence. Video of the hearing shows Moses telling Ward, all I did was try to get my rights to vote back, the way the people at the election commission told me. The judge responded, you tricked the probation department into giving you a document saying that you were off probation. Ward said in the email that he could not comment because the case was pending. Pamela Moses is in jail and could not be reached for comments on this situation. And if you ask me, it's a sad situation because she was basically trying to do what a person that tries to be a model citizen after they committed some form of crime do, which is try to get your rights back so that you could do the right thing. And then if we think about it, if you're in prison, it's considered the Department of Corrections. So when you get out of prison, shouldn't you be in a corrective mind state? Yes, for some, for others, no. But she was one who wanted to get her life back and do the right thing. I'm an activist now. You know what? I'm going to get my voting rights back and I'm going to vote. The probation department signed the paperwork saying that she's allowed to vote now. And for the judge to say that she tricked them, they know when she's off probation. That's why they gave her the paperwork. So, to me, I don't believe she tricked them. I believe it could be a form of some kind of vendetta, because one thing for certain and one thing for damn sure you got to know is when you're out there fighting that fight, the kind of fight that black activists fight, it's a lot of wrongful imprisonment. Men, women, children, they will imprison you. And we know this. It's a lot of people behind bars way back from the Black Panther days who were fighting for the people. Some of them are still in prison. Some have got out as old men. But we know this is what goes on when you're fighting the fight for your people. So I would say this. We definitely have to know what comes with the territory. If we're going to get out here and be activists for the people, we know definitely what comes with the territory. But my thing is this. The same people I fight for, are they going to stand for me? Or are they going to just let me rot in somebody's prison? Or are they going to fight and protest for me being locked up illegally? Or are they going to take care of me while I'm in there? I was fighting this fight for you guys. But now, through the judicial system, they flipped it on me, pulled the rabbit out the hat, and now I'm behind bars. So are you guys going to be there for me? Is what you have to ask yourself if you're any type of activist. Are you guys going to stand for me? Because they're coming for me. They're definitely going to try to get me. And they're going to use every trick in the book. And when they get me, they're going to try to give me a nice amount of time so that when I do get back out, I ain't going to be thinking about fighting for the people, and especially after you leave me hanging. So all I say is, people, read this article. You don't have to take what I'm saying word for word, but you do need to think about it. Did they do this young lady wrong? Or should she be in jail for what they saying she did as far as when it comes to voting, the perjury and all of this different stuff, false voting? Or was it just a simple mistake that should have been corrected and she could have been on her merry way and still on the streets? So leave me a comment and let me know what you think about it. And these are the things that we don't hear people talk about. Things that deal with people's lives that are serious. And when the system does falsely incarcerate them. So just let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, share the video. And with that, I'm going to say this is the news in you. North, east, west, south. Unite from every alley in Cali, intersection and back street. Subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up on your way out the door.
I'm not who you think I am. Your perception is a lesson with a fail grade on it. Steady living life like I would never see the morning. True shit, man, I'm more than pain, I'm more than stain on sidewalk, I'm more than black skin on my face. Destined to be great, gotta elevate mind. Elevation is the game that I gotta play, gotta win, gotta find escape to a better day.